Norwich Union Direct. I need you to quote me happy, please.
It's green.
Does that make it cheaper?
Yes! My car loves you. My wallet loves you. Yeah, I can live with that.
Let Norwich Union Direct car insurance put a smile on your face. Call 0800 888 777 and let us quote you happy.
During your lifetime, your eyes will capture over 24 million images. To enable us to see exactly what you're seeing, every Vision Express eye examination is tailor-made. Our optometrists have over 100 different ways to assess how well your eyes are working. Come and see us. Vision Express.
I think the thing I like about a First Direct offset mortgage is that it's just flexible.
If your mortgage is that big and your savings are that much, then all of your savings count against your mortgage. I feel better off as a result.
So it's not as rigid as a normal mortgage. You actually feel you're reducing your mortgage. You feel you want to evangelise about it, like a good dinner, good movie.
If you had a pet that was as good as First Direct, you'd feed it chicken and let it sleep on the bed at night. I mean, it's just a great thing.
Yeah.
Doodles. So revealing. Look at these. This business is clearly going places. Of course, the key is Learn Direct, with its affordable online training programs to help companies of all sizes. And because you do it in flexible, bite-sized chunks, it fits in perfectly with your working day. Call Learn Direct on 08000 150 750 for your 2-for-1 course offer.
At Currys now, don't miss out on up to £15 worth of free vouchers, plus even more price cuts across the store. What are you waiting for?
Another disappearance or just another statistic?
In the end, you'll chalk this one up to another gang hit, and that will be that.
If this was a white kid, you'd be leading with it at 5.
Not all cases are black and white.
It's gonna be bodies piled.
Look, I didn't kill him, man. Who did it? Until we find out what happened, the case is still ours.
Without a Trace, Monday at 10. Another disappearance or just another statistic?
In the end, you'll chalk this one up to another gang hit, and that will be that.
If this was a white kid, you'd be leading with it at 5.
Not all cases are black and white.
It's gonna be bodies piled.
Look, I didn't kill him, man. Who did it? Until we find out what happened, the case is still ours.
Without a Trace, Monday at 10.
The best handling people carrier on the road. The Sun. The most striking impression is how expensive it feels. Autocar. And the best quote of all, it's yours from £229 a month at 3.9% APR. Classic movements from the Ford Focus C-Max Compact MPV.
Bang & Olufsen relies on HP technology to produce and distribute products that bring the world perfect sound.
If I started again, I'd eat 60% less.
I would have been a slut in high school.
I'd go to university and learn more about boys.
I'd pick a better gene pool.
I'd be nicer.
I'd start dancing when I was young.
I'd appreciate the Who more while they were still playing.
Nothing. Come on, nothing.
Satirical sideswipes at some deserving cases from Bremner, Bird and Fortune in half an hour. After the Channel 4 News with Alex Thompson and Bridget and Zeku.
4 men killed, 3 injured as a rail wagon careers out of control in Cumbria. Six this morning, darkness, and the heavy wagon became detached and rolled 4 miles down this incline, the rail gang oblivious to the oncoming danger.
Good evening. Another blow for the troubled refurbishment of Britain's West Coast main line. Investigators want to know just how a flatbed wagon loaded with rails became free and began to roll. Also tonight, a criminal investigation into the Moscow swimming pool disaster as the death toll now climbs to 25. Enough is enough. After 300 unsolved murders of women in one town, Mexicans are taking to the streets. And Captain's Log, circa 1750. How the records of the ancient mariners are providing vital ammunition in the fight against modern global warming.
And the other headlines tonight, President Bush takes the battle for Iraq to the television sets of the Arab world with a new US-backed news station. It's move over Henry as new signing Jose Reyes blasts Arsenal to victory over Chelsea in the FA Cup. And in the Six Nations, Jason Robinson claims 3 tries as England crush Italy in Rome.
They were working in poor light and clearly unaware of the oncoming danger. 4 railway workers died after being hit by a runaway trolley carrying heavy loads of rail tracks. Somehow it had become detached from a train halfway up a steep incline. It rolled down it into the gang of 10 men who were working on the track. The accident happened at 6 this morning in Cumbria near the village of Teebay between Kendal and Penrith. Julian Rush reports.
It was still dark when this runaway engineering trolley ploughed into a gang of 10 men working on the tracks. With its load of cut lengths of redundant rail, it weighs several tons. Careering silently down one of the longest and steepest inclines on Britain's railways, the 4 men died instantly. 3 others were injured, one seriously, who was immediately taken to the operating theatre at the Royal Lancaster Infirmary. The hospital says his injuries are not life-threatening. At the scene of the accident, a mile or so up the line from where the trolley came to rest, police searched the track for clues. The gang was working for the rail contractor Carillion, part of Network Rail's upgrade of the West Coast main line. Officially, it's a crime scene, though police say foul play is not suspected.
This maintenance was scheduled maintenance, and that the West Coast main line at this point had actually been closed down to allow this work to take place. The workers were from this area. It's a very freak occurrence in my experience, and a tragedy of the worst order for a small community such as Teebay.
The fatal chain of events started here, 4 miles away at a place called Scout Green. A separate gang was cutting up and collecting worn-out rail, using the trolley to carry it to where it could be loaded onto a lorry. As they began unloading it, it began to roll away.
Efforts were made to stop it rolling away, trying to put things in front of the wheels, and one of the people was actually injured whilst doing that, I understand. Unfortunately, his efforts were unsuccessful. And the trolley started to roll away. On doing that, they followed the procedure and sort of contacted Network Rail Control, I believe it was, to report the incident.
As they made their desperate calls from Scout Green, the trolley began accelerating away. As it rolled silently down the track, it picked up speed. Some estimates say it may have reached over 40 miles an hour. When nearly 4 miles on, it ploughed into the unsuspecting gang working on the tracks. Such was its momentum, it kept going for another mile, coming to rest just south of Teebay village.
The trolley would have run through 2 sets of detonators on the track. They would have been probably half a mile distant from where the group of people were working, but because of other equipment around them, generators powering lighting sets, it's very unlikely that they'd have known anything.
Though the railway is a potentially dangerous workplace, fatal accidents are rare. Last year, 7 rail workers died at work. More died working on motorways and A roads. 12 were killed. Both figures, though, are small compared with the construction industry, where 71 died. The investigation will focus on how the trolley escaped, its brakes, which are meant to be fail-safe, and the procedures for alerting track workers to impending danger.
Julian Rush. Now, over the past 10 years, more than 300 women have been murdered in one small Mexican town, but only one case has been solved. Theories abound as to why so many have been killed. Is it a serial killer, drug gangs, or even a group of rich businessmen who kill for sport? So far, police have come up with no answers at all. Today, relatives of the victims in Ciudad Juarez, situated on Mexico's border with the United States, marched alongside Hollywood celebrities and demanded justice. Lucy Manning reports.
Justice, they chanted, as women took to the streets of Ciudad Juarez, but this is not usually a safe place for them to walk. Better known as the City of the Dead Girls, more than 300 women have been murdered here. Their average age was just 16, many were raped, their bodies dumped in wasteland.
She was knifed. She had just returned home. 2 guys caught her and started stabbing her more and more. She had her baby with her, but they left the baby alone.
Celebrities including Jane Fonda and Sally Field join relatives of those killed to demand justice. So far, only one person has been convicted for just one of the murders.
1 year ago, there were only 5 policemen in charge of the missing women cases. Now, we have more than 50 police who are specialists.
The marchers know there are terrible levels of violence here, but they don't know why. The murders have been blamed on domestic violence, serial killers, drug gangs, and even a group of 6 rich and influential businessmen who are killing for fun. Locals who believe this group are responsible say for them it's a blood sport and they've used their money to stay on the right side of the law.